The ululations died mid-air. The drumbeat staggered, then fell silent. At the center of the village circle, the bride stood trembling, her henned hand still raised, her smile cracking like dry earth. The elder's voice, old, cracked, feared, cut through the crowd. "By clan law," he said slowly, "this man is her brother." Gasps tore through the crowd. The groom turned pale. The bride felt the ground tilt beneath her feet. And the truth buried for 20 years rose like a curse. This marriage had already been paid for before she was even born.
Welcome to KollyGlyn, where the stories survive. Folktales, ancient walls, keeping history alive. From the past to the now, hear the echoes ring. Every story has power.
The bride price arrived at dawn. Goats, coins, woven cloth, and sealed records. It should have been routine. Instead, the eldest elder frowned at the ledger, tracing names with shaking fingers. "This clan name," he whispered, "was paid long ago." The bride laughed nervously, thinking it a joke. But the elder's eyes lifted slowly. And it was paid for her. The drums stopped. Her father, Mzee Barasa, did not meet her eyes. Sweat rolled down his temple, though the morning was cold. When pressed to speak, he muttered, "It was a long time ago, during the famine." The crowd leaned in. "What was paid?" someone shouted. Barasa swallowed hard. "A bride price. For a daughter not yet born." Years earlier, hunger ruled the land. Crops failed, children collapsed in fields. Men traded cattle for sacks of grain that barely lasted a week. Barasa, desperate and drunk on sorghum beer, accepted help from a neighboring clan. They paid bride price. Not for a girl they had met, but for a future one. The ink dried while Barasa laughed, and a name was written wrong. The clan registrar had been drunk too. In the flickering lamplight, he recorded the bride price under the Maware clan, not Barasa's true bloodline. No one corrected it. No one survived long enough to remember except the paper. Paper never forgets. The groom, Kato Maware, stood frozen as his clan name echoed across the square. Maware, the same name written on the old bride price record. The elder's voice trembled. "By our law, you did not marry her. You claimed what was already yours." Women screamed. Men shouted for the ceremony to stop. Someone hurled a stone that cracked against the ground near the bride's feet. She staggered backward, dizzy, confused, humiliated. "My husband," she whispered. "My brother?" Kato reached for her hand. She pulled away. The elders met beneath the fig tree. Biology was clear, no shared blood. But tradition spoke louder. Bride price defines lineage. Bride price defines kinship. By law, Kato was her clan brother, not by birth, but by ownership. And ownership was sacred. The marriage was not dissolved, nor was it accepted. The couple was ordered to live apart while the council debated. The bride returned to her father's hut, now a place of whispers and blame. At night, she cried into her mat. At dawn, she wondered, "Who am I, if my identity was sold before I existed?" Kato stopped eating. Men avoided him. Children whispered his name like a curse. He had followed every rule, paid every goat, respected every elder. Yet now he was accused of the unthinkable. "I did not know," he told the night. But the night did not answer. Barasa finally spoke. "I was starving," he admitted. "Your mother was pregnant with your brother. I thought I would die." Tears fell into the dust. "I never thought the record would matter." The bride clenched her fists. "It mattered enough to destroy my life." Her mother, Nyaboke, revealed another truth. She had warned Barasa. She had begged him not to accept the bride price. But tradition silenced women. Men sign papers, Nyaboke said bitterly. Women pay the price. The elders argued for days. Some demanded annulment. Others insisted tradition could not bend. If bride price defines kinship, then law must stand. One elder asked quietly, "If we undo this, what else collapses?" No one answered. The bride and Cato met secretly by the river. They did not touch. They only talked. "I still love you," Cato said. She nodded. "That's what makes this unbearable." The river flowed indifferent. The village divided into camps. Culture must stand. Culture must evolve. Friendships cracked. Families stopped sharing meals. The couple became symbols instead of people. And symbols are easier to sacrifice. An ancient elder, nearly blind, spoke at last. "I was there," he croaked. "The famine night, the drinking, the mistake." Silence fell. The clan name was wrong. Gasps rippled. But correction meant admitting generations of errors. Truth alone was not enough. Custom demanded consequences. If bride price is wrong, an elder argued, then lineage collapses. Another replied, if lineage collapses, justice begins. The debate sharpened like a blade. The bride stood before the council. "I will not be owned by ink," she said, "nor punished for a famine I did not live." Her voice shook, but she did not bow. "If this law destroys the innocent," she added, "then it is the law that is broken." The council delivered a verdict. The marriage could stand if the bride publicly renounced her father's lineage and was ritually adopted into another clan, or the marriage would end forever. Both choices cost her everything. She did not sleep. If she chose adoption, she lost her ancestors. If she refused, she lost her husband. At dawn, she whispered, "Why must women choose between identity and love?" Drums beat again. This time, slowly, she stepped forward, bare feet on cold soil, carrying a gourd of water, symbol of rebirth. Her father wept silently. Cato watched, powerless. The ritual severed her lineage. Not blood, but belonging. Names were erased. Names were written. She screamed as the elder announced, "From this day, she belongs elsewhere." The crowd exhaled. But something inside her broke. The marriage resumed. The village celebrated again, but joy felt thin. At night, she dreamed of faceless ancestors turning away. Cato held her. Love survived, but scars remained. Months later, whispers returned. What clan will the child belong to? No one agreed. A child born from broken lineage terrified tradition. The blind elder returned once more. "Culture is meant to protect life," he said. "When it destroys it, it becomes tyranny." The council fell silent. For the first time, tradition blinked. The records were amended. The famine error was officially acknowledged. Bride price law was revised for future generations. Not erased, but questioned. Change entered the village quietly. Some elders resigned. Others lost respect. Barasa died months later, his shame unhealed. The bride mourned him anyway. Forgiveness is heavier than anger. The village calmed, but the story lingered. Children grew up hearing it whispered by fires. Be careful what you trade in desperation. She began speaking publicly. To girls, to mothers, to elders who listened. Culture is memory, she said, but memory must learn. Her marriage was no longer scandal. It became symbol, not of incest, but of how systems can betray innocence. Life continued. Crops grew. Children laughed. But no bride price was ever accepted again without sober witnesses. Ink was no longer trusted blindly. One question never left her mind. How many lives were shaped by mistakes no one bothered to correct. Years later, a young girl asked, "Was he really your brother?" She smiled sadly. "By law," she said, "but never by blood." Her story entered folklore, not as scandal, but as warning. At night, she sometimes stood outside, listening to the wind. It carried voices, not angry, just waiting. She never fully reclaimed her ancestral name. Some losses do not return, but she made peace. She gained agency, voice, choice. Things famine could never buy. Cato vowed their children would never inherit silence. Truth would be spoken early, mistakes corrected immediately. When the blind elder died, the village mourned deeply. He had bent tradition without breaking it, a rare thing. A new registry was introduced, clear, verified, witnessed, mistakes acknowledged openly. She remembered the wedding that froze time, how one sentence nearly destroyed her, how courage rebuilt it. Not blood, not ink, but choice. Change did not roar. It whispered, and those who listened lived better. What defines family? Blood, payment, or responsibility? Do not trade tomorrow for today's hunger. Children inherit bargains they never agreed to. Your worth is not negotiable, not even in famine. Tradition without compassion becomes cruelty. The drums played again one evening, not for marriage, but for remembrance. Mistakes do not disappear when ignored. They grow. Love survived law, but it demanded courage. "I was not born owned," she said, "and neither are my children." This was not incest. But was it justice? When culture overrides biology, who should bend the people or the law? Would you have walked away? Should tradition ever be rewritten? Who pays for mistakes made before we are born? Comment below. Share the story. Let the debate continue.
This is KollyGlyn, where the voices remain from forgotten.
The past is talking. Are you listening?